Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm
How we
great.
doing?
Great. Welcome back. Another week.
Another week. I feel like every start of the episode we say that, but I mean, in 2020 in America, I feel like you have to. So another
Another
week
week
made it.
is an accomplishment. Okay. It's
Yeah.
all good things.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was very low key. We followed CDC guidelines and stayed our asses home with no other guests except for this one cousin who lives her alone and she hasn't seen anybody in like 3 months. So we invited her and that's all we did.
I did not follow CDC guidelines.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great. I drove from Massachusetts to Missouri.
Yo, I cannot believe you did that. And I have not talked to you since you did that. And when you told me you were doing that, I was like, where are you going? You're like, Missouri. I was like, okay, Jared's trying to fuck with me. Like, I literally thought you were joking.
No, I was dead serious.
I
We
can't
were
believe.
out.
How long did that take you?
It was like 21 hours.
You're sick.
But we stopped and stayed at a hotel on the way there and on the way back. So we
Did you
just did.
guys take turns driving?
Well, I
Obviously.
did. I did most of the driving. I did 12
Really?
hours. Oh, yeah, she drove like 3 hours maybe. Yeah, so we did 12 hours there, or 12 hours one way, and then stopped, or 12 hours stopped, and then it was like 8 hours the rest of the way, and then on the same we did the same thing back. 12 hours stopped for the night, and then did eight continuous until we got home. And
So you like driving, obviously.
yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I'm from Jersey originally, so driving to school to college in Massachusetts was like 5 hours, and I was do that all the time.
Dope. Yeah. Well, we hope everybody had a safe Thanksgiving, obviously, with family, safely.
It was a little different, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little different this year, but hey, we gotta get through it somehow. But no, let's talk about it. This week we got a special guest, special episode for the listeners.
Indeed.
Are you nervous about this one?
Um, no. I don't know. I don't know. I
Oh,
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Are you sure? I'm probably the wrong person to be asking that question. I feel fine.
you feel fine. So for the listeners who don't know, we've been, I guess, promoting this on Instagram for a minute now. But we're doing a little special episode with a nice little guest, T Swizzle, which is his name is Terrence, which is Asia's husband.
Yes.
So we're gonna for the next 2 weeks we're gonna do spouse interviews, so you guys can learn more about us, more about our personal lives, things like that. So
Lucky
I
you.
think yeah, I think this is gonna be lit.
It should be a
Terrence,
good time.
what's good with you?
What's going on, guys? Thanks
Hey
for
Ready?
having
there.
me.
Hey there, babe.
Yeah,
Are you ready to spill the tea?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
This is your podcast debut. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel really good. Very excited.
We're definitely excited to have you. I think the listeners are going to love this because they're going to learn a lot about Asia. They're going to see how your guys' relationship is, and it's going to be dope. So we should just hop right into it.
I guess so. So Jared, we took questions on Instagram. Terrence and I posted. So we have Jared has your questions
And
right in
I
front of
have my own
him.
questions.
Jared apparently has his own questions.
I mean, I know y'all, but I think I have questions that I think the listeners would want to know. So
Okay. So between
Cool.
your questions and the listeners' questions, yeah, let's fire away.
let's go into it. So for the people who don't know, Terrence is originally from Virginia, right?
Yep. Yeah, Manassas, Virginia.
Manassas, Virginia. And you went to school out there too?
So I went to school in Fairfax, Virginia, actually. So that's like 30 minutes away.
Okay, so just a little background for the listeners. Terrence from Virginia, Asia's from Massachusetts. So just hop into the story, Terrence. How did you guys meet? Where did you guys meet? In your perspective, bring it.
Am I going to
Yeah.
get a chance to say my perspective after he's done?
Yes, of
Okay.
course. Let the guest go first.
Okay, fine.
So, okay, we met in Alexandria, Virginia. Our first date was at a movie theater. How we met was actually through Tinder. Your boy was, swiping around. And this was Tinder back when it was like free and fun,
Popping.
right?
It
So
was popping back
you
then.
had, It was actually it was unlimited swipes back then. So you were literally, doing your thing. You were swiping, you Tinder, okay, Tinder. Anyway, I connected with Asia. Kind of funny. She was one of the girls that had multiple girls in her picture. So I was like, I don't really
Oh,
know which one is Asia, but
yeah,
I
you were
think,
confused a little bit.
yeah, exactly. But it was great. It was great. So, what was a huge turn on for me was the conversation. Right, it was great conversation.
How many Tinder dates did you go on before you guys matched and started vibing, kicking it?
That's
Like, do you have a long list of Tinder dates, or was
I
At
it?
least
couldn't
three,
tell you.
Terrence.
Yeah, it was at least three. I could tell you we met in November and started dating in April the next year.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like a good 3 month period, I think, of dating.
Yes,
Yeah.
you were going on about you guys matched. You were just having a conversation, and then where to go from there?
So yeah, first date we went to go see a movie, and
Wait,
then
wait, wait. You didn't
what?
say how you even got my number. Terrence was like, we were on the Tinder app texting, and Terrence was like, this app is killing my phone battery. We
Oh
should
yeah,
just
yeah.
text.
That's a smooth way to do it, though.
Thank you.
That's a smooth way to do
I
it
was
because
like,
you don't want to be
okay.
too aggressive with it. Probably. It sounds like that was early in the conversation.
It was. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, your turn's coming up next. Let Terrence finish his
I'm
story.
not used to this. Usually, this is my podcast. I get to talk, but please proceed.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we were just dating from about November to April, just kind of getting to know each other, which was great. I actually wasn't working. I had just been laid off at the time. So I was just like kind of still figuring that whole job searching process out. And I actually, me and Asia had already had that conversation that we had wanted to be exclusive, but I had told her that personally, I didn't really feel comfortable asking her to date her because I felt like I couldn't really provide for myself consistently, let alone, do some nice things for a girlfriend, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
go
blase,
out.
blase, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
yeah,
this
so
was
anyway,
pre-COVID too when we were outside.
pre-COVID, yo, I'm like, yeah, so anyway,
That's stand up. That's a stand up guy right there, though.
I finally get a job in April, boom, boom, boom. I asked Asia, to become official boyfriend, girlfriend. She says yes. We make it official. It's great. And then I guess the rest is kind of history from there.
Okay. Hold on. So we'll stop right there,
Oh my
Mm-hmm,
Asia.
God.
mm-hmm.
Now it's your turn.
Oh
So
my God.
so give the background on why you're in Virginia because you're from Massachusetts. Like, how are you down there,
Yeah.
Virginia, DMV area, basically, and then why you're on Tinder,
Yeah.
why you're swiping left
Why
and
am I
right.
on Tinder? Good
Yeah.
question. Terrence left out so many details. I was in Virginia. I was getting a master's degree at the Howard University, HU, and I was on Tinder because I had no friends. So I was just swiping away, trying to meet people, whatever. I definitely went on a few Tinder dates before I met Terrence that were failures.
So how many were there? Was it a good amount? Do you have a long laundry list
No,
too,
it was
or
like three.
okay?
It was like three. So then when we went on our first date to the movie theater, I didn't even know what movie we were seeing because I was actually coaching. I was graduate assistant coaching the women's basketball team at Howard. So my schedule was crazy busy. And he was like, oh, do you want to go to the movies on this day or whatever? And I was like, yeah, bet. But by the time we got to the day, I realized I never asked what we were seeing. I just
So
was
you
like,
just popped
yeah,
up.
the week flew by. No, I text. I was like, what are we seeing, by the way, on the day of? And he was like, what the fuck was it, Terrence? The Hobbit?
Yeah, it was The Hobbit, the Battle of Five Armies, the last one.
I don't watch that stuff. Like, I don't watch The Hobbit or like The Lord of the Rings. So he was like, he loves that stuff. So he was like, this is the movie of the year. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on.
There was nothing else out. That was the most elite movie out.
Okay, we believe you.
Okay, hold on. Let me pause you again right there.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've always heard that I guess first dates at movie theaters aren't really great because
You can't
obviously
talk.
can't talk. Yeah. So Asia, how was that for you? Well, I'm sorry. Keep going, and we'll hop back into that.
It was so awkward. And Terrence was 45 minutes late to the date because he was driving his friend, KB, shout out to KB, to the metro to drop him off. And he got in a car accident. And so he was like, I'm in a car accident. And I'm like, okay, bro. Like, I just think he's lying.
You thought you got stood up?
Yeah. So I was just waiting forever. And then I was calling my cousin, like, should I leave? This is ridiculous. And he showed up and his headlight was surely out. So I was like, okay, you didn't lie. And we were like 22. So he was like, I have to call my parents after this. This is terrible. We were like children. And we park at the back of the parking lot of the movie theater. We walk all the way in. I have to use the bathroom. He forgets the tickets in the car. He has to run back to the car. Like, it's like a far run. Grab the tickets, come back because the bathroom's on the other side of the ticket counter. Whatever. The movie goes on. There's dragons speaking English in the movie. I'm like, what is good? Like, I don't know what this is. And it was definitely weird because we like you said, we couldn't talk.
Okay, so after the movie, what
Nothing
happened after
happened.
that? You guys just left? You just
Yeah,
first?
we just left. The other thing to mention is that when we were talking on FaceTime for like probably at least 3 weeks before we met in person.
Okay, so you
Because
saw each other's faces. It wasn't like a catfish type scenario.
no,
Where...
we had been FaceTiming, but the reason we hadn't met yet was because I was in the middle of basketball season, and it's like we were traveling.
Yeah,
It was D1. Yeah, I
D1
was in like
basketball, yeah.
Iowa and shit. So we had FaceTime, so I knew he was like real, but it was only a couple weeks. I still thought I was stood up.
Okay, so one of the listeners' questions was obviously how did you guys meet? Blah blah blah. Blah. We already went through that. Was there a lot of nervousness and anxiousness on the first date? If you guys remember that?
I guess there must have been.
Yeah, definitely. I would say I was pretty nervous, pretty anxious. Like AJ said, I had actually just gotten to my first car accident, so I was kind of like really upset, low key, right? Like, and my boy was in the. And it was ridiculous. Like, and it was my fault. Like, I wasn't paying attention. The worst part, I was rushing.
Oh, yeah.
So,
you had a date lined up.
I had this hot date lined up. I'm just trying to get there on time, but I was trying to get my boy to the game. He's about to go see the Wizards play, bro. And his little brother was there too. So it was.
So you were torn.
Yeah, I was torn. So,
but I was too much.
I was happy. I mean, everything was fine. Everything was fine. I was just rushing in that one moment. So anyway. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I don't know. I think we held hands a little bit throughout the movie a little bit.
After you left, yeah, how did you feel about?
Yeah, so I felt really good. It was great. We had a great time, great vibes. We had already been talking before, so I was confident. And she was cool with I was late. Like, I was kind of being weird, So yeah, I felt really good. So like I said, and we were talking before, so I, was just like, all right, we can definitely do this again, and I can actually do better than this, which is great, right? So yeah, I felt great.
It's improvement.
Oh
so,
yeah, improvement.
After the first date, how did you feel? If you remember walking out of there, were you like, what is going on?
I hated the movie, but I had a good time, and yeah, like he said, I knew that there was potential because we had been FaceTiming. It wasn't like the best date ever. We've had better dates than that one, but like considering the lateness and the fact that I don't like The Hobbit, I thought it went pretty well.
So you were eager to move on. So what happened after the first date? Asia.
On the second date, we tried to go to, I was really sick and I didn't even want to go, but I felt bad because I don't know. I guess I just
look at that. Look how
him.
The tables have turned.
Tables turned immediately.
So I was really, really sick, but I got up and I went, and he wanted to go bowling. And it's so funny because there's a bowling alley. I forget what it's called, but it's right down in Chinatown near the where the Wizards play. And we get there and we go up to the desk and the lady's like, actually, someone rented out the entire bowling alley tonight. There's no way.
Oh, that's wild.
Terrence was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So there was a Bar Louie downstairs, and we went to Bar Louie for a drink, and I took one sip of my drink, and I was like, I'm gonna throw up. Like I was just so sick. So he drank my drink and his drink because I couldn't drink it, and that's pretty much how the second date went. I was really, really sick the whole time.
So I feel like to the outside eye, this could be like two dates that weren't going the right direction.
Yeah, and
Right.
then
But in the same sense, they were just like, it was so low key, and we were obviously both, no, we were both still having a good time. So it was just
yeah,
like, it was like very, not, it was just comforting that we could be chill. I didn't have to talk my head off to like entertain this
Yeah.
chick. And
Yeah.
it wasn't like she was talking my head off, and we could just like, it was just a vibe, right? So,
yeah.
yeah, it was like actually two kind of very weird dates. But then after that, I don't know.
The
What
third date
happened?
was Chipotle. It was like a 30-minute date. I was in between traveling to games. I had just got back from an away game and we were going to Iowa for Christmas.
So we're just like to touch base and see each other.
I had like 2 hours to spare before practice, and then after practice we were getting on the road, I guess. Did we drive there? I can't remember. But Terrence was like,
though.
no, Terrence is like, I really want to see you. And he took the metro an hour from like his parents' house at the time. There's a metro straight to DC, but it's like 45 minutes or whatever, an hour. So he took the metro all the way to DC, and we ate at Chipotle for like 45 minutes, and then that was it.
That's cute though, because like you both were stretched on time. He was super far. You had to be back on the road,
Yeah.
but you made time for each other because that's what you guys wanted to do. And I think that's just hearing that, that's like super dope. And obviously it's a testament to why you guys are here right now. You know what I mean?
I guess
Thanks.
so.
I don't mean to get all sappy when I'm saying that's real. That's real.
Nah,
Right?
definitely.
That's the story, though. That's the story.
All right. So when did it start progressing and getting like serious? Terrence, that's for you.
When did it start
Ponder, let's think
getting
about that.
serious? Well, probably I guess when my lease. So I was living in Arlington. Once I finally got the job in April, like I said, a lot of things started moving. Job, girlfriend, moved in with all my boys in Arlington, Virginia. So we were living together for a year, and then so after that, I was just like, I obviously love this girl. I'll see if she wants to live with me. We asked, we talked about it, and she said she was cool. So, I think it had been like a year. So, and we were moving in, but like I said, like the comfort level was there. Like we were chilling. We had done weekends and weeks together. At my spot. It just seemed to be at the right time. So I'd say that's when it kind of kicked up. Us moving into that first spot in Alexandria. Yeah.
So during, like, as you were explaining that, I heard the love word come up. So is this kind of, I don't know if this is the same question or if it's 2-part, but who was the first one to say I love you? And also,
I don't remember.
this is a listener question. Who was the first one to realize that this was the one?
I don't remember that. I don't.
Hey,
I don't
dig deep in
remember.
those brains. The listeners want to know.
I don't know. I think when Terrence was living in Arlington with his friends, it was like what he said, one of those situations where I was staying there all the time because I was living at my aunt's house and she lived farther from the city. So it was just easier to stay there on the weekends. And I don't know. We had gone through some, like Terrence had some medical stuff with his back that was like kind of serious. So after that, where I had to like be a
Be a ride or
loving
die,
person, like a
yeah.
ride or die. I would maybe say after that, but I actually truly don't remember. I think that Terrence probably said it first, but I don't actually remember what that moment was. Sorry if that's bad, but I don't. You don't remember either, do you, Terrence?
I really don't remember, but it probably was me. It probably was me that said it first. I don't remember when. I said it, but yeah, it was probably me.
Yeah.
When did I know? I don't really know when I knew. Yeah, I guess it's just like I said, man. You just kind of see how you gotta watch how people act, man. It's all about the interactions. It was just really about the comfortness, relaxation. How she treated me, how I saw her treat other people. How she interacted with people. And the funny thing is, too, back then, like we were going out a lot too. So like
much.
Virginia, DC, all that stuff. So with that said, like you just see a lot of craziness while you're going out late nights, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, just like through all that, it was just like I was like, this, this is kind of, we're having fun. She's cool. I'm cool with her when I'm up. I'm cool with her when I'm down. I'm cool with her when I'm just relaxing. So yeah, I was just like, this could definitely work.
You know what's so crazy? Like we now at our age, like we never go out, right? I mean, Corona has something to do with that. But even if it wasn't Corona, we do not go out. None of us go out nearly as much as we used to when we were like in our early 20s. And like, I feel broke now.
You're like, yeah, how did I
I'm
do
like,
that?
how the fuck did we go out every weekend
Those are facts.
on our credit cards? We were making half as much. I was making half as much money as I make now.
Making peanuts. Making peanuts.
Going out every single fucking weekend. It blows my mind. I think about it and I'm like, I'm trying to remember like how that was possible, and I cannot, other than credit card debt.
People find a way to do the things that they want to do. And that's when we were younger, that's what we wanted to do. And I
That's
mean,
crazy.
I'm not even gonna hold you. Once COVID is gone and we're allowed back outside, that might pop back up again. We might be outside all the time. So
That's crazy to think about, though. Sorry, I just
It
had to
is.
mention that because
no, that's a very, very, very
Time
We
good.
did
flies.
have a lot of house parties back then too.
We did have a lot of house
a good pregame. Hello, pregame. You know,
remember the
Wow.
pre-games?
I miss those.
So how was it living with each other for, I guess, you guys moving in? Obviously, it's like new for both of you. It's different when you're dating, but you're not living together. But then once you actually see them basically every second of the day and you see how they actually live and their habits and like what their peeves are, things like that, it's a total different ball game. So I'll start with you, Asia. How was that?
Terrence is definitely gonna have a way different answer than me, but it was fine for me. There was definitely things I had to get like adjust to, but it was way better for me because I was living with my family. So it's not like I was living with my friends. I was like, oh, this is
So you
way
wanted to get
better.
out of there no matter what.
Yeah, and I mean, Terrence is a pretty easy person to live with. He's clean and tidy, and he likes things done a certain way. He'll probably say the opposite about me, but yeah, he's definitely an easy person to live with. He loves chores. I call him a task rabbit because he loves chores. It's his favorite thing.
What about you, Terrence?
Yeah. So my transition was definitely not. It was just. It was a transition. So first of all, I
You're
was
coming from the
happy.
homies.
Yeah. First of all, I was happy to. I love living with the boys, but I living with guys is different than living with girls, right?
Oh,
Guys are
facts, yeah.
just messier in general. Period. So it was nice to have my own spot and just be with me and Bay, right? So that was great. But so yeah, me and Asia are just a little different in our levels of how we like things done.
Terrence likes to clean every single day. So like, and he's very good at putting things back where he gets them from. I'm not. So like, I'm the type of person that'll have go all week and just be like running around crazy all week, leaving shit everywhere, and then I clean on the weekend. Like I clean. Whereas Terrence is like, you wouldn't have to clean if you just cleaned every
Clean
day.
during the day, yeah.
So yes, the tidying stuff. I'm just like big on tidying real quick so that we don't have to do it later. So yeah, we just learned. We worked through that quickly.
So you guys are living together. When did you guys make the decision to move back up to Massachusetts?
Oh God.
How long from you guys living together in Virginia? Like how long was that process, or how long did it take you guys living there until you had to make the decision to move up?
We lived together for almost 3 years, and then our condo flooded while we were on vacation.
Oh,
So
wow.
the condo that we lived in Maryland flooded while we were on vacation, and we weren't even back from vacation. Terrence's sisters were going to get our dog and stay there for a night. We were coming back the next day, and they got there and the whole place was flooded, and it wasn't a weather thing. It was like the pipes in the building or whatever, and it destroyed like half the condo. And so we had to move out all of our stuff. Like we lost some shit and we were living with family, which was probably one of our
Yeah, once you
tougher
leave living with family, you
experiences.
don't want to go back.
Yeah, and we were not like, now we're staying with family, but it's like a more permanent situation. At that time, we were like living out of suitcases and sleeping on air mattresses, so it was like really just stressful. But when we finally, the condo and the condo association and the owner of the condo insurances were arguing about who's going to pay for the damage, and for 3 months they didn't do any work. We were just literally displaced. So we finally just broke the lease, and we were like, planning the wedding. We're like, we'll just go home and save money. So such a millennial thing. I feel like so many people ended up, if you were a lucky one, like I feel like Jared, you did it not the right way, but the way I would have preferred, as far as like apartment house, instead of having to reroute back to family. No, you actually did stay with, we'll get onto that next week, but you did stay with Emily's family for a minute. I
Yeah,
forgot about
fresh
that.
out of college. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think a lot of people at our age have had to, especially with COVID, like pivot. This is so random, but maybe go back and live with family. I feel like people always get so crazy about that, like so uptight, and it's kind of just like, bruh, do what you have to do,
Do what
get
you have to
yourself
do.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially if it's saving you some dollars and you're
exactly.
actually able to put that money towards something in the future.
Yeah. So that's how we ended up back in Massachusetts. But it was I never thought Terrence would actually move to Massachusetts, and we would probably still be in DC if the condo hadn't flooded. So,
Because DC is a popping area. Hold on, but before we jump to the Mass
mm-hmm.
area, you said engagement. Totally skipped that. Terrence,
Oh
how did you
yeah.
propose?
Oh God.
Give us that
Yeah.
story.
Yes, the proposal story, pretty dope. So anyway, I finally figured out, I'm ready to propose to Asia. And at the time we were on this health kick again, right? So we're on another health kick, and she Asia, another thing I had to learn about Asia was that she likes subscriptions a lot for some reason. So anyway, her most recent subscription was she was got at this boxing gym. She had done this kickboxing thing for like 2 months. So anyway, she'd stopped going. So I was like, okay. Anyway, so I was like, all right, let's do basketball training. Let's do some one-on-one training. One of
Because you're
my
both love basketball.
Yes, exactly. She hooped in college. I wanted to hoop in college, didn't, just played club. It was great. But anyway, one of my boys had just started doing some basketball training, right, out in Maryland. So it was great. We started linking up with him for like a month or two, once a week or so. Just me, Asia, and the trainer. He would kick our butts for like 45 minutes. It was a great time. So anyway, I get the ring, get it sized up. Shouts out to my boy Joe. He put me on with the jeweler. Got everything all lined up, set up. So once I finally get the ring, then I start thinking about the plan or whatever. So I know Asia doesn't want. She said she didn't want to be in front of a bunch of people. So I was like, all right, I can respect that. She doesn't want a bunch of people. But in the classic female, she wants, pictures and recordings and all that stuff. So I was like, all right, so I do, this is going to
She
be.
got to share it. She got to share
Right, exactly. So it's
the
definitely going to be,
moment.
not a
Just
single man job here.
so sweaty.
So anyway, and obviously I want to catch her off guard. So I want to surprise her. So after just going through a bunch of ideas, I was just like, she definitely, and obviously, she hooped, like I said. I know her favorite movie is Love and Basketball. So I was just like, man, maybe I can just try to redo this, right?
I've never heard you say that before.
Hey, it's lit. We're learning new things today.
So anyway, yada yada. I hit up my boy Tonio. Shouts out to Dream
So many shout
Basketball in
outs.
Maryland, definitely. And yeah, man, I just told him what I wanted, wanted to do. Told him I got the ring. He said, "Hey, man, no problem. Let's get through the end of practice, and then I'll separate you guys. Get her doing some free throws, and then you'll come down, and once she finishes, we'll have her turn around, and you'll drop down." So it went exactly like that. We got the video, we got the pictures. So yeah, it was great. I actually had dinner reservations at like Ruth Chris that night too, but we had to cancel because she was on the phone. She was calling people. We were so happy. We had just worked out. I don't even think we got home till late. Yeah, so it was great. But yeah, that's how it happened. And then a month later, the apartment flooded.
The house flooded. Yeah.
Okay, so Asia, how did you feel when you're playing basketball, just probably in a pool full of sweat, and you turn around and my man's is on his knee?
The basketball thing was definitely a surprise. It was a Monday night, so definitely unexpected. We did that every Monday, so it was just a routine. He was being weird, like usually we have our bags on the same side of the gym so we can take water breaks together. He was on the other side of the gym. I was like, okay, somebody's in a mood.
You look back at it and you're catching up on the cues, right?
Yeah. But in the time, I was like, what the hell? But yeah, it was a very sweaty proposal, but it was definitely very fitting to who we are. And obviously, we both love basketball. So it was a good time. And yeah, the train didn't end till like 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or something. So he had those reservations. But by the we like sat in the parking lot of the gym for like an hour and a half FaceTiming people. And then
Yeah, I already know how your family was giving it up. You're
yes,
probably
it's too
getting
much.
calls on top of calls on top of calls. So
Yeah. So yeah, and then a month later, the house flooded, and like a month before that, we got a dog. So it was kind of like a lot going on.
So I feel like from there, obviously you guys moved to Massachusetts. The listeners know this story by now. You guys are married. We know the West Virginia story. Terrence,
LOL.
how do you like living in Massachusetts, and how does it differ from Virginia? And when she proposed, or like when you guys talked about that, I guess that decision, like how do you feel about it coming up to Mass?
Yeah. I was definitely nervous about it, but at the same time, I knew that in the back of my head, I didn't want to live in Virginia for the rest of my life. Like, I knew it would be easy, but like, I also have just been like, I need to just live somewhere else outside of the DMV, I should say. I lived in DC for a year. I lived obviously in Maryland, in Laurel, Maryland with Asia, but I knew I wanted to just be somewhere else. So that aspect weighed in. At my job, I knew that remote work was possible. So that option made it, a little bit easier as well.
Yeah, so Terrence
And
has been working remote for a full year before Corona, so he is like a professional quarantiner. So yeah, it was I mean, it was a no-brainer for me. I always knew I would end up back in Massachusetts. I love DC. I like wouldn't trade my experience for the world, but I definitely wasn't planning to live there forever.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you guys been back up here now for a minute. Terrence, like, is there anything that you like about New England?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely love it up here. So I'm from Manassas, Virginia. I basically hang out in that Northern Virginia area. There's just like it's more city like. Where up here it's like towns. Like it's like legit towns. Like you just people. I don't know. I just felt like that is a difference. The food options up here are different, good in a good way.
I would like to live like I don't I think I've said this to Terrence, but like if I could have my dream home, like not the first home we're gonna buy, but like our last dream home, it would be like so far deep in privacy, like I have to drive to my mailbox. Like I want to be in the
I don't
sticks.
really want
That's
that. And I
yeah.
will say that I was worried about the snow. Like it does snow in Virginia, but like not like 8 to 10 plus inches like it does here.
Yeah.
That said,
Like tomorrow.
right, like tomorrow. So like I don't like being cold. I'm like the first one bundled up in everything in October out here. People are walking down the street. My brother-in-law's in shorts right now, basketball
Yeah.
shorts. It's free.
He's wild.
It's below 30 degrees. That's freezing. I
It is
need to
not
be
below
warm.
30 degrees. Don't be dramatic.
It's cold outside. You need pants
It's super
on.
cold.
It's
Yeah.
49.
So how has it been living with Monet, aka Asia's mom, your mother-in-law?
Oh.
And then after that, we need one adjective to describe her.
Yes. Okay. Well,
Obviously, she submitted this question.
yes, living with Monet is the best. It's very fun. I don't know. We drink wine. We watch shows together.
They do because
We
I
get
hate their
we
shows.
get we get stuff knocked out around the house. We do stuff around the house. We go out to dinners and lunches. We travel.
They're
I mean,
basically dating.
yeah, we're like best friends. It's so I mean, I don't know.
We're like best friends.
Not
That's what you
everyone
Nah,
can
said.
be best friends with their mother-in-law, or at least have a good relationship where you can, just
yeah,
if we just
facts.
talk, it's just fun, it's cool.
Yeah.
So adjective, I guess I would say provider and educator. One, just because obviously we're living in our house right now, and two, My first trip or cruise to Europe was, through her. She helped work out getting on that cruise, and that was a dope experience. So like, hey man, I'm just here for the education, and I appreciate all the support. So
Showing you new aspects of life.
it's great, man. It's great. So
Monet, if you're listening, you are a very dope individual, and we all appreciate you.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure I annoy her sometimes. I'm just like with Asia. I tidy up a lot. Like I just like
He
I
throws
clean
shit
up
away
after
that doesn't
people.
belong to
I
him.
do throw like
Oh wow.
I don't
I can see that
understand.
causing some issues.
No,
Yeah,
like things
yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
meant to save, you put in a specific place to hide from Terrence to save it. He will find it and throw
And
it
it's
in the
gone.
trash. But if you dare to touch any of his hoarding things that he hoards, he will have a panic attack.
Well,
Whatever.
I mean, my next question, I don't know. I feel like Asia, you kind of answered it, but I'm still going to ask you, what's his biggest pet peeve?
Terrence's biggest pet peeve is definitely things not getting put back in their place. He also like all he really wants is people to do the same chores he likes to do without having to ask him. So if he has to ask, like my brother is really bad at this because my brother is he does the least amount of things in the house. He just slides right under the radar and does nothing. And that is a really big pet peeve for Terrence, I know. And we have this family group chat and we called everybody jokes and they called Terrence Department of Homeland Security because he'll text in the group chat the most. He'll be like, "Hello, family. I'm reporting. We need to do this. Please wipe down the counters after." Like he's crazy, and he'll be like, "Aaron, meet me downstairs at this time to move this thing." Like, and Aaron's just like, "Please stop hitting up my phone, bro."
Yeah,
So
I'm not even gonna hold you. I respect that because it's not his house, and he's like the guest in the house, and he's taking it upon himself to make sure that's done. So I
yeah,
actually respect that. Like,
I mean,
wholeheartedly. It's kind of crazy.
everybody benefits from it,
You have
and
the
it's
courage to do
fine.
that. So Terrence, what's Asia's biggest pet peeve?
I don't
Yeah,
know what my
she
pet peeve
doesn't
is.
like when I move her stuff. I mean,
There you
in
go.
my defense, it's usually in the way or not where it's
So it has
supposed
to
to
be
be.
moved.
So maybe she's recording or something, and I might move her mic from on top of my PlayStation to like underneath her desk or somewhere over here near her desk, and now she can't find it when it's time to record. So now it's just like a big, why did you do that? Blah, blah, blah. So that's probably the
And my thing is like, why can't the mic stay on top of the PlayStation? Because you haven't turned it on in literally 6 months, and it just collects dust.
But hey, that one day he might want to play it. You know what
No,
I
he's
mean?
not gonna play
He
it.
might want to play it that one day. So
I've
it shouldn't
been
be.
busy doing other things. There's other things to do.
Or like something will be on the dresser. He's like, "When are you gonna move this? It's been here for 3 days." I'm like, "It's on the dresser. It's not even on the floor. It's not in your way. It's literally not bothering you. You're letting it bother you." And then he's like, "Fine, I'm gonna move it to your side of the dresser," and he slides it down. I'm like, "You are psychotic."
Oh,
Yes.
that's hilarious. Terrence, who is Asia's celebrity crush?
Oh, Chris Brown. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Chris Brown. Yeah. Sorry. Another Virginia native. So that's kind of funny. Clearly has a thing.
Okay, same question to you, Asian.
Oh my God, you're gonna laugh.
Am I?
Yes, Terrence's celebrity crush is Amber Rose.
Hey, I mean that's not a bad celebrity crush. That's not a bad celebrity crush. I can
I
see
just think it's
Terrence's face right
so
now.
random. It's so random.
I mean, she's been in the news for like us growing up.
I
Like
know, but
she's been popular.
I
I
think
know.
she was at my peak in like sophomore year of college when her and Kanye were together. But a
Yeah, I
little
mean
before
that's
that,
not
and then
bad.
after, I was just like, I don't know why. I don't know why. I know why, but yeah.
We didn't say they needed a talent or anything. We just said celebrity crush.
Yeah, I guess.
That's all. That's all it was. So I know Asia earlier. She said that she was happy to move up here because you guys eventually would want kids, and she'll be closer to her mom. Do you guys have that conversation about kids? And do you guys, I guess at this moment now, do you think you guys have different parenting styles, or you would have different parenting styles, or do you think that they would be the same? in this moment right now without kids?
Okay, I don't think that Terrence has a parenting style or like knows what that would be. I think that I think it's going to be funny because I was a nanny for like forever, like 10 years. I did nannying on the side. So I've like taken care of kids. I have nephews, I have nieces, I've nannied babies. Like I've had experience with all age range from newborn to 10 years old. So I feel really confident with that, especially with newborns. I feel like newborns are like 2 pound, like they're just so fragile. I feel like that's gonna be for Terrence. The whole thing is gonna be not that nannying is like makes me know how to parent, but I've just had more experience with kids and younger
Yeah,
kids.
caring for him and things like that.
Yeah, and Terrence is the oldest in his family, so there's no like nieces and nephews yet or anything like that. Whereas like I have so many. So
Yeah, I don't know what my parenting style is gonna be. I know I'm excited to be a dad. I know I'll probably be honestly a little too overbearing at first, but my goal will always to be will be to just like make sure they're doing the right thing. But I want to encourage them. I don't want to like be putting them down a lot. If
Yeah.
they do something bad, I want to, punish them or whatever quickly, but then like, all right, like how can we build off that? You know what I'm saying? Constructive criticism, really, I guess, is what I'm going to try to do in my mind right now. So yeah, like my thing is to have everything ready. Like it's so funny.
we'll see.
Another shouts out to Andrew, but our old middle school principal Slater used to always hit us with the P's of preparedness. She would say proper prior planning prevents poor performance. People, please prepare yourselves, bro. I ever
That's a
since
lot
I
of
heard
P's.
that in middle school, like basketball practice, bro, I'm like, bro, I need to be prepared so I can be
Yeah.
priorly prepared for this things going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, yeah, I just want everything laid out. So like my big thing is before we venture on that awesome kids journey, in theory, I would like to be as prepared for that as one can be before that. So
He's definitely going to be overbearing because he treats the dog like a child, and
that's
the
true.
dog is a dog, and like the dog will get a tick, which is what happens to dogs when they go in the woods sometimes. And Terrence is like, oh my God, she got a tick. She can never go on that wood path again because
Hey, that's where the ticks are.
there's ticks. And I'm like, she's going on that path because that's where she gets her walk. So you need to like take it from
That's
a
what
10 to a 5. And I treat the dog like a dog. I love her, but I don't treat her like a child. And Terrence is like, you don't even care about this dog. You just let her do whatever the hell she wants. And that's how, and he's like, and that's how you're going to be with these kids. I'm like, can you shut up for 2 seconds? This is a dog.
I got two more questions to wrap this
Yes,
up.
wrap it up.
I'm gonna start with Asia for both of them because I think they're kind of tough questions. So we'll put her on the
Okay.
spot a little bit. What would you say is Terrence's number one fear?
Heights.
That's true.
Okay, same thing to you, Terrence. What's Asia's number one fear?
Hmm. Number one fear.
I have no fears.
Yeah, Asia's pretty fearless. I don't know. I mean,
Boom!
the
Hey.
Yes.
basic, failure. Obviously she doesn't want to fail. She will do whatever it takes, even after the deadline is passed.
That's
That's
true.
it,
That's a good
really.
one.
The last question for you guys.
Oh God. Why are you making it all slow?
Because I had to go back and find it. Asia, what is your favorite thing about Terrence? What do
Oh,
you
I
love
knew
the
you were gonna
most?
ask a sappy question.
Of course, you have
Um,
to. Come on.
okay. My favorite thing about Terrence is that he's very attentive to obviously me, but everyone around him really. He's very just like aware, and for me personally, he's always like just knows exactly what I need when I need it, and I appreciate that. I go through like I said, I can be moody, and I think that's something Terrence has had to adjust to. And now it's like I don't even have to really say any words, and he kind of knows, what type of
What
day
the
or what,
deal? Yeah.
yeah, like what, and I appreciate that because sometimes I don't have words to explain how I'm feeling. I just feel a certain way. So yeah, I feel understood.
Okay, T Swizzle, Terrence.
Yeah.
What's the? I don't know if Asia tells you this, but every time we text now, I'm talking about you. I call you like T Swizzle. I call you just random names.
It's
I thought
so
it was
weird.
T's.
Oh,
I
good.
don't
I
know.
love that. I love
Yeah,
that
it's funny.
creativity.
But yeah. What's your favorite thing about Asia? What do you love the most?
Yeah, I just, piggybacking off what she said, she's just very loving, understanding, and I feel like I'm kind of moody too, and she is understanding of that, which is nice. I had
She gave the
definitely,
crazy look. Like what?
I
Moody?
have,
You are not
I,
moody at
I feel
all.
like I have like some annoying quirks that are, I don't know, just
Yeah, you do
that you
have
have to put up
quirks.
with. So,
Yeah, but you're not
yeah,
moody.
I appreciate that, and she is always motivating me. Like she's doing this podcast stuff. She's going to school and stuff still after. She's got her master's. So, like, these are things that I'm not doing or have not done. So, I look at to her as also someone that I need to catch up to or just be great every single day for. So I appreciate that.
I'm gonna
Hey,
cry.
yeah, that was dope. That was
That was a
dope.
good one.
Yeah. But no, we definitely appreciate you coming on the pod. You guys
Thanks for having me, guys.
sharing your live stories with us. Asia, how you feeling after that?
I feel great. I can't wait for your turn next week.
Oh Jesus, Terrence, how do you feel making your pod debut?
Yeah, this was great. This was fun. I was definitely nervous, but yeah, you guys are fun to talk to. This was good, pretty smooth.
Thanks.
Not this wasn't bad. I hope
Like
you
it's
guys
the
invite
first
me
time we've
back.
ever spoke.
I know. I thought it would be different on the podcast for some reason, but it's actually easier. I probably should have had a glass of wine and been a little more crazier. But
Yeah,
next time,
a
next
little
time.
more loose. Yeah.
I am dead. You guys are easy to talk to.
But now, I mean, if you're listening, I mean, I hope this like shed a little bit of light on Asia and Terrence and a little bit deeper into their lives, and hopefully you guys learned a little bit. And if you didn't, it's because you didn't ask any questions when we were sharing on social media for to ask questions. So if there's a question you wanted to hear, hit us.
Ask it to Jared next week because
Don't do that. But you still
next
can.
up we have Emily Gaines, the goat of all goats, coming on with Jared next week, and I get to ask the questions, and I'm lit about that.
Yeah. But now this is dope. I was looking forward to this.
Yeah, this is fun.
Terrence, appreciate you as always.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Yeah, so if you guys like this episode and this podcast, don't forget to subscribe, give us a rating, press the 5th star, and leave a review.
Yeah, Terrence, you want to plug your socials or
Yeah, you want to plug your socials?
You want to be
Terrence?
left alone.
Yep. You can definitely follow me on IG and Twitter at Big T Man 123, and man, just follow the podcast, guys. Cop some merch, man.
Hey,
That second
plug it.
drop. Those camos. I missed the camos. I can't wait to drop 3. So get your merch.
Yeah, definitely follow us on Instagram, Done with Adulting Pod. Also on Twitter, Done WTH Adulting. Yeah, let us know how you like this. Definitely give a big shout out to Terrence and Asia for being a little personal on the pod and giving you guys some depth into their lives. So
yeah.
yeah.
Thanks
And
for
share-
listening.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next week.